Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. I hope you're having a great weekend. It has been a really good week, a really productive week. I had some hiccups along the way, some frustrations. I was very close to ranting about something in today's Sat Chat, but I decided I'm going to be classy. One of the things worked itself out, and I'm just going to take the high road on something, but that's no fun, is it? But I am, because that's the type of operation I want to run here. First of all, I want to say thank you for everyone that enrolled in the Line and Wash Fall Favorites class. I got some of the examples for that up here. Wow, that was, it blew my mind. People were really ready for this class, and I'm so heartened that that you guys enjoy it. I'm seeing paintings already in the classroom, which is great for a weekend. I'm seeing all sorts of student participation, because I know sometimes people buy the class and they do it later, especially in the colder winter months, but lots of good participation. It focuses on using the water brush and line and wash, and if you want a taste of what that class is like, if you check out the live stream I posted on Wednesday, we did this little chickadee. I'll hold it up, hopefully the camera will focus, so I'll give it a minute. So we did this live, so if you go to my YouTube channel, it should be right there front and center. I'll try to remember to put a link in the video description for this. I'll also put a link to the class with the 50% off launch special coupon code, so you can get it for 50% off. It should show up at 50% off anyway, but I also put the coupon code in there just in case. But you can do this one for free on my YouTube channel, see what you think. And the difference between that and what we have on Teachable in the class is that on Teachable you have a pattern for everything. So there's a draw along portion. Each lesson is broken into 3 to 4 videos. The first video is drawing the image. The second video is inking the image. So if you don't want to draw, you can start with the second video and use the pattern I've provided. There's a pattern for every lesson, for every project. And then the last 1 or 2 videos we are painting it. So it's broken down, it's easier to take breaks, and obviously the picture quality is better because it's using my good camera, and it's pre-recorded rather than that live stream that I did on YouTube with my webcam. But it gives you a good idea, and plus I think if you're familiar with me, you know how I teach, and you know whether you would get along with that or not. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's come out. I'm so thrilled to see the projects in the class rolling in, and thank you guys. I appreciate that. I know it's, you know, money's tight. This economy has been rough for people, and spend that money to buy a class and spend that time with me to learn, that means so much to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. What else did we get up to this week? I'm telling you, I get in a time warp because for the past, probably the past month and a half, I've been recording ahead so that I would have videos to go out when I'm in Italy. That retreat is next week. I am in 1 week from today. It'll be day 1 of the retreat in Italy. I am so excited. I just can't wait. I can't wait, but I'm also like, I'm excited. So I've got the positive excitement energy, but I also have a little bit of the nervous anxiety energy of like making sure I have everything. You know, I've double checked with the with UpTrack, make sure everything is ordered and arrived. Things are arriving already, and checking hotel itineraries because we're going to go a couple days early. Jason and I are going a couple days early just to have a little time to get adjusted to the time change, and just to have a couple days off, because when we went to France to do the retreat last year, we landed the day it started. And we flew out the day after, like the morning after it was done, and it was too packed. It was too much. We should have had a little bit more of a breather, either at the start or at the end. So this will be nice. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. There's all these extra things that I like to do, and I think I have time to do some of them. I also want to make another sketchbook before I go, because I'll be teaching a sketchbook making workshop at the beginning, kind of to break the ice, to let everyone get to know each other, and have a nice project that you don't have to think about the creative aspect of it so much, more of just the kind of the nuts and bolts structure of it. Plus, I think it's so nice to be able to know how to make a sketchbook, because you're going to make the best sketchbooks that you'll ever have, and you can put whatever paper you want in it, and you won't have that precious fear anymore. So if you know how to make a sketchbook and you buy the paper that you want to put in it, it's not like you went and you bought a sketchbook. When you buy a high quality sketchbook, it's going to cost 2 to 3 times more than what it will cost you to make it, because it takes time. It takes about an hour I can make a sketchbook in about an hour, hour and a half. So when you're buying a sketchbook, you're paying for somebody's labor to make it. You're paying for the materials. You're paying for the middleman to mark it up and market it and put it out for sale. You're paying a lot of things along the way. So if you can make it yourself, it's not so precious. You know, you're only out the cost of the materials, which will be like a quarter probably of the price of what you pay for one already made of high quality, like a handmade sketchbook. So, and because of that, you know, you can always make another one. I think it takes a little bit of the fear out of it. Of course, if you're like, oh my gosh, I've spent so much time on it, I can't waste it. You know, you have to get over that, but you're actually getting more use out of that paper because you're painting on both sides of it. You know, if you buy a sheet of Arches paper, you can make a sketchbook with 2 full sheets of Arches paper, which depending on when you bought it, how much you paid, you know, could fluctuate in price. But instead of getting like, you know, 4 to 6 paintings out of a piece of Arches paper, you're getting, you know, both sides, using both sides of it. And then, you know, you just get a lot more bang for your buck, I think. So I gotta make one. But what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna be in Florence for a couple days before I go, I am going to make a sketchbook using some different mixed media papers I have, because I think that would be really fun to have some tone tan, some tone gray, some textured paper, some like a rough watercolor paper, a cold press watercolor paper. I'm just kind of experimenting with that. That way I will have kind of a mixed media sketchbook as well as the watercolor one we make at the retreat. I just think that would be kind of fun. I like to have a toned book anyway. And maybe I will even pre-collage and stamp on some pages like I did with my cruise sketchbook. That was a lot of fun. Fantasy Lindsay's got all sorts of plans, let me tell you. Fantasy Lindsay has all sorts of plans of what Reality Lindsay's gonna do. Fantasy Lindsay's writing checks Reality Lindsay can't cash. I think is what's happening here. But yeah, it's fun. Jason actually cut down all my board covers, so this has been Jason's first week home. He had given his notice a couple months ago to give his employer time to figure out what to do with his time slot. He did the 10 to 2 shift on WKIT, the radio station that he worked at, and but he's been wanting to, you know, do something different. And in the meantime, until he figures out what exactly he wants to do, or maybe he will absolutely fall in love with working in my business, but he's helping me out the business. So he actually moderated the live stream, which is really great. So if you watch this live stream, you're going to notice there are no dead air breaks. Or I wouldn't say dead air breaks, but so when I'm doing a live stream on my own, I will stop like 3 or 4 times during the stream, and I'll ask for questions. I'll scroll back and I'll read any questions that I find. And sometimes it can be a little awkward because I have to scroll back and try to find them and all that. So you're just looking at basically my table while I'm doing that. And it's not that engaging. So if you're watching the replay, it's probably really less engaging because you weren't there to ask the question. So you have to skip ahead at that point if you're not interested. So, and it does make the live stream take probably an extra half hour than it really needs to. So while I was painting along and questions came in, Jason could ask me them. Kind of like when Sarah was doing the live streams with me years ago. So I think that makes for a much better live stream experience. So as long as he's home, he will be emceeing the live streams for me, which is really nice. Somebody says that I don't ramble on as much or get into as many little tangents or tell as many little stories when Jason's here moderating. Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, maybe I might act a little bit more silly when he's not on the stream. I'm not sure. It's probably just kind of getting used to it, getting used to a new protocol. And also I was promoting a class, and I wanted to make sure that people were going to get a similar experience to what they would in the class, because I'm not doing random little weird stories during like a course like I would in a YouTube video, or I would like even in Critique Club, like the Critique Club project I recorded last night. I have 2 new Critique Club projects up right now. I wanted to make sure I had them in before I left. So one is this one here. This is, I'll have the time lapse of this coming out next week, but I'm going to put this in front of my face, so hopefully the camera focuses on this, and I'll hold it there for a second. But this was from a photo I took, and both of these are from my own reference photos. This is from a photo I took in Hollowell, Maine. This cute little flower shop, and then when I was looking at the photo, because I knew I wanted to paint it, I realized it was the perfect example for one-point perspective. There's like a single vanishing point, and all of the things go out to that vanishing point, and it worked. It was textbook. It was textbook. You don't often get something that works textbook. So I'm like, perfect. I'm going to do a lesson on one-point perspective. Even if people are not interested in using alcohol markers, this is all with alcohol markers. even if you're not interested in using alcohol markers, then you can still get the 1-point perspective lesson. And I think that's really valuable and will be really helpful for people, because I do get that question quite a bit too. Like, can you explain perspective? I don't get it. And generally I'm thinking, just draw what you see, draw what you really see, not what you think you see, draw what you see, measure things up if you need to with a pencil, draw what you see and it will be right. But that's really hard to suss with your brain. Your brain wants to be like, I know that building's as big as that building, so we got to make them the same size. And then you're wondering why your picture is flat. And some of these angles, I mean, some of the angles are so steep that even I, like if I was going to freehand some windows into these buildings, I wouldn't be putting the angles in that steep because it just feels so wrong, but that's really what you see. So great little lesson on 1-point perspective, if I do say so myself. That's in Critique Club now. And then the other thing that is up right now is this painting up here. I'm going to tip my camera up because otherwise I will, hopefully the camera will zoom into that. Let me try to zoom in. Let's see if I can do that. That's a camera zoom noise. Well, you can kind of see it. Let me get my head out of the way. Okay, oil sticks. I use the Phoenix water-soluble oil sticks. Those are a steal. You get like 24 for 70 bucks. They also make the Soho ones from Jerry's Artorama. So what I had a bunch of canvas panels that I gel printed on. So I took one of those, sketched it out with oil sticks, added some water to kind of smear it out. Anyway, I'll have the time lapse on YouTube with it. It'll be when I'm gone sometime, but this is up in Critique Club now, the real-time version. I might do more to that painting, to be honest. I might glaze over some colors, but I have the tendency to overwork oil paintings because I'm kind of rusty at doing oil paintings. So, so because of that, I decided to stop at that point. If I do add more to that painting, I will add an addendum into the Critique Club lesson and I will update the finished artwork photos, but right now that's a stage that it's in. I just really wanted to make sure I had 2 things for Critique Club before I left, but I didn't want to rush that because I've been an art machine the last month or so, and a lot of that has been making things for the class, which I love how the course came out, and I'm so glad I put all that time into it. And then, I have I also pre-recorded a line and wash calendar page, a calendar page for November. That's going to come out in week after next. It's going to be a Whimsy Wednesday. So I'm going to premiere the 2 Wednesday videos while I'm gone so you guys can still chat with each other in the live chat if you want to. I wanted to make sure that community aspect was there for you guys even if I'm not here. Like I did with the Monet painting when I was off. I had to take my son to his college open house. So I want to make sure I keep that community aspect for you guys to be able to hang out with each other when I'm not here. And yes, I'll have a real-time lesson. Not next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Oh, I'll show you what next Wednesday's. Oh yeah, that's gonna be next Wednesdays. That's what's gonna be next Wednesday. I'm gonna show the time lapse on YouTube. It is a longer one because there's a lot of stuff going on in that. And plus, one of the products that's coming out that's on the video is not going to be up until next Wednesday, so that's why that had to go out then. But the following Wednesday, there's a longer real-time line and wash video for you. Just something to look forward to there, but I will have, you guys, you'll be able to chat, to show up at noontime here on my YouTube channel on Wednesdays if you want to chat with friends, and then we'll be back to the live streaming after that, after we're back. Hopefully I'll have a voice. I'm a little concerned that I won't have a voice when I get back from the retreat, because the France retreat my voice was so raw that last day and coming back. So we'll see. We'll see. I think I could pace myself a little bit better. I think I stayed up too late with the ladies on the French retreat, and I think I need to pace myself a little bit better in Italy. But I'm just smiling ear to ear thinking about it. We're gonna have so much fun. So what else? What else was I working on? Oh, so since I was doing so many things for YouTube and for that course, I was doing all this artwork with the student in mind, instead of working on stuff that I personally want to work on that I didn't have to explain to anybody else. Because when I'm doing work and I'm challenging myself and working on something, I'm not talking through it as I'm going. I'm trying to kind of push myself and discover things and try new media, and I'm not worried about things failing or falling apart or getting messed up and having to pull it back from the brink, because it doesn't have to be logical and doesn't have to be in a linear fashion if I'm just doing something kind of for myself for fun. The things for classes need to be very logical in a linear fashion. I don't want people wasting their time learning from me. You know, you're doing this line and wash. This is a class that's going to appear, it's also appealing to multiple levels of painters. It's appealing to newbies that are not interested in drawing. They want a pattern, and they want to, you know, they want a very defined project outcome. And it's also appealing to people that may have some painting experience. They like to draw, but they've never used a water brush before, so they want experience using the water brush. So things have got to be very logically laid out so that they're not confusing, right? But when I'm kind of stretching my skills, I want to get myself thrown into situations where it's hard and I need to really think through something. And I really can't, if I'm really concentrating on what I'm doing as far as painting, I can't verbalize it. You're in a total different part of your mind. It's left brain versus right brain. It's being in the flow, being kind of nonverbal while you're doing it. And so I'm looking forward to doing some projects like that. So I am going to take a little time off. Well, I don't want to say time off. When I get back, definitely going to take a couple days to make sure I'm caught up with everything in Teachable. I'm going to try to keep up with Teachable while I'm gone, but I might not be able to. I might not be able to log in at all. I'm bringing my Chromebook, thinking that I can use the Wi-Fi at the resort and just check in once a day after all my duties are complete, probably after dinner, and see if, like before bed, and see if I can catch up on anything. But I might not have Wi-Fi. I might not have Wi-Fi, might not work with my device over there. I don't know. So I am going to say that please don't be upset if I don't respond to you until between the dates of October 21st and November 2nd, because I just might not have the ability to, or the time to, because I will be working over there, except for the 2 days before the retreat starts. So we'll see. I don't want to have a lot of to-dos outside of teaching the retreat, because that's my priority while I'm over there. And I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard that I actually have a projector there, so that's going to be really nice for doing step-by-step demos. And yeah, really looking forward to it. Oh my gosh, look at this contraption. Did you notice this? So I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I bought this thing. Oh my word, moment of weakness. But I was thinking, because I had been using my phone to film some things. I'd used my phone to film when I was filming the marker landscape tutorial out at with all the fall colors, and I really liked that. My camera did a good job, and I was thinking it would be nice to have something that was a little more flexible. So if I wanted to film like upstairs, because in the winter the furnace keeps coming on, the water pump keeps coming on, and it's just very loud. And it would be nice to be upstairs where you don't have all that noise, where it's warm, where it's comfortable. Like if I could film at my desk by a window, that would be really nice. But I don't have anything. I don't want to mount anything to the wall or the ceiling, but something like that might work. I think this might be a little too shaky. I'm not sure. But also, I like that I had my reference photo up there when I was painting that, and it was really handy, and I could zoom into things. It was great. So this I paid $6.99 for. Now there's different sellers that sell this. This exact one now is like $11.99, of course. It always goes up after you buy it, right? Well, hopefully you get it at the lowest price. But anyway, it's really nice. Just got a little clamp there. It's very easy to take your phone on or off. And what sold me though was it's obviously made in China. And it's very obvious when you read the description and you see the little promo video that they put with that, because, and this is what sold me on it. I laughed so hard when I saw this caption. So you have this woman, and she's clipping her phone up, and she's like watching something from her couch, and the caption on the screen says, "Be hands-free and enjoy your laziness." I'm like, I want to enjoy my laziness. I want to be hands-free and enjoy my laziness. So yeah, I had to buy it. That made me laugh. That caption made me laugh so much, and plus it was only $7. But yeah, I definitely got $7 worth. That works really well. I'll show you how easy it is. It's a little pinch. See, that's how big it'll go. Pretty big. I think it would go to any phone size. I don't know if it would do all the tablet sizes out there. I think it's probably too small. Ooh, sorry, too small for a lot of tablets. But yeah, I'm enjoying my laziness. Let me tell you, I thought that was quite a steal. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could tempt you with. Probably shouldn't, man. Living high on the hog. I did film some reviews to go up when I'm away. There's a new product by Phoenix, and they released, and I've actually had it for a few months. They released a set of 36 tube watercolors. They're 14 ml tubes. Who does that remind you of? What professional brand puts out 14 ml tubes of professional grade watercolor? And they also came out with a new palette that's really nice. It's a big, like a studio palette. They're purchased separately. The paint is like $100 for the set of 36, which is a great deal for 36 14 ml tubes. And I think they're going to have a coupon code for if they have it now, I'll put it in the video description so you guys can get first dibs if you're interested, or look it over and think about it. But the review's coming out Monday, so it'll be 15% off, I think, on Amazon, and then maybe 20% off on their website. And then they'll be giving away a free green gold pan. They let me pick two colors. One color to be for Amazon, one color to be for their website. And I think it would be like a free green gold half pan of watercolor with all purchases on Amazon, and a free rose d'or pan with purchases on their website. I just wanted to pick colors that weren't in the set and that would be unique anyway. So if that's up, I know the product is up for sale. I'm not sure if the discount code is there or not yet, but if it is, I will share that with you. It might just be a link that takes you to a specific listing, but yeah, I was pretty pleased to see that paint is finally available because it is a really good quality. It's very similar to Winsor Newton's professional quality. Their professional pans are like the Winsor Newton professional pans, like they swatch out identically. Their tubes are like the Winsor Newton tubes. It's very uncanny how similar they are. I'm wondering if they may be working to offshore their paint manufacturing. They have for their student grade, like their cotton paints, allegedly. I don't want to get sued. But they also have their professional markers made in China. I don't know who makes them. They have they've moved manufacturing around quite a bit to save costs. So it might be a way to really save some money on paint. Anyway, the quality is excellent, and I have a review of that coming up. And then I have a review on, oh my gosh, look at these. I have a review of these coming up while I'm gone. These are blocks. Well, they were sold as sketchbooks, but they're actually not sketchbooks. They are 60 sheet blocks of watercolor paper, 100% cotton, and they're bound on two edges. So they're showing them on the listing on Amazon as like opening up like a sketchbook, like you've just unbound one edge, which I guess you could, but I think they would fall apart too easily if you were to use it as a sketchbook. But as far as a block of paper, I think it's kind of neat. It's no frills, but they're cheap. This is like $12. This is like $16. But 60 sheets of cotton paper, kind of neat. Got a nice rounded corner on them. And then there's a little watercolor set that it's also by Lightwish that I reviewed, which is like, it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't, it's worth the price. I don't think it's anything to write home about, but those paper blocks I think are quite nifty, actually. 60 sheets. I had to stop and count because I'm like, there's no way there's 60 sheets in here. It's too thick. And then I went through and counted, and by golly, there were 60 sheets in each of those blocks. I don't trust anything. I don't trust any advertising. I'm like, hold on, let me count every single sheet, because I don't believe it, but it was true. It was true. So other than that, what have we got to talk about? I feel like it's funny because I'm going to be recording another Sat Chat right after this, and I have no idea what I'm going to talk about because it's going to air on the day I'm returning home, which I will probably have plenty of time to chit chat in the chat because I have a really long layover in New York because apparently Jason and I can't figure out AM and PM when we're booking our own flights. This is why we should use a travel agent. Last time we used a travel agent. But we really wanted to fly out of Bangor. But we probably should have just taken a bus to Boston and flown out of Logan. But yeah, it's so hard to get anywhere from Maine. And it's inexpensive, but it's so nice to fly out of Bangor. It's such a small airport. And actually, I'm kind of glad now with like the government shutdown, and I've heard like horror stories about TSA and different like major airports, so I'm glad that we'll be going through security in Bangor, Maine, and not in Logan or JFK. not that it's ever been an issue, but I don't think we've ever flown during a government shutdown before, so who knows? Who knows? It's so stressful. I've been thinking that I need to not be on Facebook except for like the Watercolor group and the Lindsay's Frugalite page. I feel like those should be the only places I go. My Frugal Crafter community page should be the only places I go, because when I go on, I don't see posts from friends very much. I'm just seeing, and I'm seeing posts from like radical newspapers and media companies that I don't follow, I don't like. Why are they showing me this? And it's just upsetting, stressful stuff. And I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'll like get there, and then before I know it, I've got like chest pains. I'm stressed out about something that I've read, and then I was like Googling, then I was Googling chest, how do I know if my chest pains are a heart attack or something else? And then so first article comes up, Prevention Magazine, so I click on that, and then I'm like, okay, is this a heart attack, a stroke, or am I fine? Is this just anxiety? And then pop-up ads, there's so many pop-up ads on Prevention Magazine. I'm like, look, prevention, somebody could be having a heart attack or a stroke and they can't even get to the information because you're stupid pop-up ads. So what I want to tell you to do is, what you should do is find a reputable source, print out or go to the library, photocopy a book that has the symptoms of a heart attack or a stroke, tape that to the inside of your medicine cupboard so that when you're there fishing around for the baby aspirin, when you think you're having a heart attack, you can look and say, okay, is this really a heart attack, or am I just stressed out because I read something stressful on Facebook? You know, what is it? And then also this week I've been working out again, because since Jason's been home, he's walking the dog Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So in that morning time where I would be walking the dog, I am doing my weights, because I have not done the weights in months and months and months. So I'm like, I'm going to get back on that habit. It's a good time to make a new change when you've got a new schedule, like Jason being home. So he walks the dog, I do my weights, and then when I'm walking the dog on the other days, he's doing his weights. So we kind of, at that period of time in the morning, you're working out, you're either walking the dog or you're doing weights for both of us. So I've also been like doing weights, so then like everything is just sore because I have like no upper body strength, so everything is really sore and tired. So it's like, okay, are my fingers tingly? Okay, what arm is it? It's like, oh, my right hand's kind of tingly. Which arm is the stroke arm, you know? So which arm is the heart attack arm? You know, it's like too stressful. Facebook is too stressful unless you're on the art pages. That's what I like about Instagram, is that you only see, well, you know, you can see things that you don't follow, but I don't get any political stuff on Instagram. It's all artsy goodness. And then if I'm seeing too many art related ads and accounts that I don't follow, I just click on the word Instagram and click following, and then I'm seeing all the lovely things that the people I follow are posting. And I don't do Twitter, or whatever the heck they call it now, X. I don't do that. I don't do Threads. I find Threads to be also very upsetting, very much like Twitter. I mean, very much like, yeah, X, Twitter, Facebook. I find all three of those to be very upsetting. But I get lured over there because I'm on Instagram, and then you see the first like snippet of something. And of course, it's the things that are upsetting that catches your attention, you know? It's like, what? My health insurance premiums might be tripling. I better investigate that. No, don't investigate anything. Don't investigate. Don't look. It's never good. It's never good news, and it doesn't matter because you can't. There's no point in worrying about something until it's time to deal with it. And I saw that somebody shared this meme with me, and it said, and it was this woman, and she got sunglasses, and she's like, "Oh, look, there's that bridge I said I'd cross when I came to it." I laughed so hard when I saw that. Like, yep, cross that bridge when you come to it, right? Well, that's all for this week's Sat Chat. I will see you in the chat down below, and then I will see you in a couple weeks when I get back. But I will have plenty of content, so please don't abandon my channel while I'm gone. Keep watching. There'll be lots of videos to keep you entertained in my absence. Just please be patient with me responding to comments. And till next time, happy crafting. Bye!